right, so on that note, I'll be going to another woman in tech who is going to be taking us through a journey in cybersecurity, all the way from Kenya. She's a security engineer, and she's also the founder for the Women of Security. All right, so she possesses so many leadership skills, and she has a vast experience in cybersecurity. Please make welcome Judy. Judy, please, a round of applause for her, please. Technicals, do we have Judy?
Yes, we do. Okay. All right. I'm going to assume you can hear me. So I'm going to share my screen. All right. So thank you so much, guys. My name is Judy, and I do hope everybody from the room can hear me. I'll try and make this presentation as quick, short, and sweet. To say what, short and sweet. My name is Judy Ngure. I am from Nairobi, Kenya, and I think Toby, you need a beating, man. You have been keeping me on the waiting room for a very long time. But it's fine. It's fine. I have my revenge. So thank you guys for joining. What I'm gonna be addressing today is a bit of some very frequently asked questions to me in regards to starting out in the cybersecurity field. I got around 300 questions, but I just cut them short into 10. And then that's what I'm going to answer for those who are starting out in cybersecurity. So before then, I'm going to list some of my highlights in the cybersecurity industry. So I joined cybersecurity in 2018 officially. That's when I even started working for a global marketing agency, managing around 7 countries in Africa in regards to quality assurance. That involves everything around product security as well, and for very, very huge clients, and that was very, very interesting for me. I got to specialize mostly in web security, and that was my starting point. But I had also some background in malware analysis here and there. But my field, pivoted me because there was nothing much to do in malware analysis in the corporate world. I got to actually work, hands-on everyday pen testing, web, mobile, iOS applications every day. Imagine pen testing 4 to 5 apps in a day, and it's going through you, then it's gonna go through the client. It was a really amazing experience. I don't know if that's it was a really amazing experience. So I have worked with over 20 companies actually in the last few years since I joined, and not 9 to 5 always, but in terms of consultancies. So I've had some few highlights, over 20 countries across the globe, that not just in Africa, but mostly in African countries, which shows you that there's a very big need, space, capacity to accumulate, all of us who want to get into the cybersecurity space. So those 20 countries, now and then, when I started, I was like everyone trying to get a job, applying, but even now I have to start turning down jobs because there's so many in regards to, people want the security expertise, but then there's less people to do the job. And that's because, you realize there's a lot of hype around hacking cybersecurity, but the people who can actually deliver, the number is a bit lower. And that's where you get to leverage more as an individual to actually, if you have the skill set, you have the right attitude, you get to actually work with a lot of companies, and companies are very, very patient, especially if you can deliver on the job and they have worked with you. So that has been my experience with the companies. So some of my highlights was, I got to build an OTP company from the ground up. It's very, very active. 16 countries in Africa. It's doing very, very well. It's called Kazo OTP. And then, we also, in that regards to Kazo, we got to raise some money for the OTP company, which is doing very, very well. I also got to work as a CISO role at a very young age. I'm still under 30. So I got to work as a young CISO role. And I think I was in Nigeria last month for the Young Sister Award, and I got to, take home an award. That was also very, very good. So thank you very much to the Nigerian market for that. Another highlight was, been working on bounties as a collective. So Bug Bounty, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, is where hackers and businesses bring their platform, into a central place like HackerOne, Bugcrowd, and then hackers get to hack and then they get paid for whatever they find. So it's usually very fun. You used to do this with some of my hacker friends. You spend 4 or 5 days not sleeping on energy drinks. I wouldn't recommend, but I would highly recommend. And then we'll just pick a target and then probe it until we can actually find bounties. And that was a way to actually understand it. Then at the end of the day, you actually get paid for it. So working for bounties, that is still something we still do up to today. We are 5 guys. We still get to do that up to today. And that's something also that's very, very big for me because I'm a very, very technical person. Get to handle nation state ransomware. This was actually very cool. One of the ransomware attacks a client, and then it was there on site, and we got to see what was happening, got to do incident response. This was amazing. This was so good, by the way. When you don't understand signatures, you're just stuck there and the client is relying on you. It was very, very good. I also got to join a board of directors as well. Another one is coming as well. So I think that, we'll get to that later on, but that was something very, very, highlight for me. And this was in the due course that I've been in the cybersecurity field, working with great systems as well. And then we got to bring about the birth of women of security, and then got recognition across board. So these are some of my highlights in the last few years in the cybersecurity industry. I do hope this motivates somebody somewhere, just to know that, you don't have to be, 40 or 50 for you to have achieved this thing. You can do them as young as possible, as long as you push and you have the right motivation. So I do have some of the frequently asked questions. So the 3 ones colored, those came up a lot. And I will address those first, and then the myths of security, that one I added, and then I will answer the other ones. So number 2 is, does it pay well? Yes. Has somebody touched on money? I hope you have, because this is something I think most people motivation for joining an industry is the fact that, is it well paying or not? So cybersecurity is very well paying as long as you can deliver on this, on the product, on the project. It's yes, there's hype, but if you can't do it, that's the thing that actually differentiates you and filters you. There's a lot of hype of people saying they can hack, they can do, but you can actually do it. You get to actually leverage and make a bit more money. And I'm talking about, in dollars, best pay, you get to pay best in USD or euros, whichever one you're more comfortable with, I'd recommend it too. Should I know how to code to be good in security? I'd say this is a double-edged sword in terms of, there are people who are very good in security, but they can't code to save their lives. And then there are those who are very good in security and they code and they're very good at it. So I'd say this will also depend on which area, but it doesn't pay to actually know how to build simple scripts, whatever language, Python, which is what most people prefer. It helps you automate some of the day-to-day activities that you're doing that you can make it easy for yourself to actually do. So yes, so that it's not that you'll be kicked out if you can't code, but it also doesn't, pay that you have some security, some coding, expertise here and there. Mentorship, this came up a lot. So this is the thing, guys. You probably won't get somebody to mentor you one-on-one. And why is that? Because cybersecurity people are very bombarded with work, so they don't have space to mentor. And those who have space to mentor, they can't mentor you every other day. And that's fine. You need to be okay with that. If you get somebody to mentor you, well and good. If you don't get somebody to mentor you one-on-one, just be okay with it. What you do is once in a while, pop in their DM, Ask them a specific question and they will answer. And that actually gives them motivation to know that you're actually doing something outside. So if you come to me and tell me, how do I get started in security? I probably will not reply. But if you tell me I'm stuck on this, I was trying to do a pen test and I'm stuck on this exploit, I'll probably get in a call with you and we'll actually figure out that exploit. So be okay with not having a one-on-one mentorship. And if you do get one, praise your spirits. Because the people in security are very, very, very busy and they are not so many. Some myths of cybersecurity. I think this I can't address all of them. What I can address is, some myths that are out there is, all security people can hack Facebook, social media. That's a myth. Some people don't even touch on that. If you get into security, you start to realize there are niches, like somebody in network security doesn't understand malware analysis. Somebody in malware analysis can't even do a network pen test. Somebody in penetration testing can't do incident response. So it's okay. It's a myth that everybody who is in security can hack social media. So just be okay. It's okay to have that one niche, one or two that you're very good at, and then stick to that. That's also very, very, very good to know. So back to the first question, what areas should I focus on? I would say depending on which market you're in, just find which areas of security are very lucrative. So you find some markets that are pretty new to security, so they won't have some areas. But there's one thing you realize: all markets, if they are networks, if they're internet, if there's cloud, if those some of these areas are cross-border. So network security, cloud security, those are things that are around. As companies have apps, internal, external, there's application security. But then you find that if you do good in, let's say, I don't know, security operations center, you find that some countries, there are people who don't even have a SOC internally, and that's okay. Probably their SOCs are managed in the UK or the US. So you, in your country, you will, that expertise, that what GRC, there is nowhere you can apply it in your company. So be very specific to know which areas in security are actually applicable in your country. Certifications, I don't want to title certifications really much. I'd say they're not a need at the very beginning of security, but they come in later on. They help you, they add on to your skill set. So you start with, leveraging, getting some skill sets, hack the box, bounties, you get very good skill set, offensive security labs, focus on the labs. And then the certification, you probably will get them. I don't even have one. You get them when you're working in an organization, and the organization, the client wants you to have the certification, so the company pays for you to have the certification. I'd say don't bother with them yet. They'll come later when you need them, but they are not a necessity at the very beginning of your career. Focus on the labs. The labs are very good for getting the technical skill set. Is cybersecurity mature in Africa? Yes, it is. There's too many jobs. I've been traveling around Africa because the skills, some countries don't have people with the skills, and I can see there's a very big need for it because we are technical, we are doing digital transformation. There's a lot of work in cybersecurity. There's so many areas of security. There's so much to do in security, so don't be discouraged at the very beginning. It's okay. There's so much work to be done. You just need to know the right person to actually, the right people, the right companies that are looking. And it's not about connection really all the time. No. It's about the skill set. You have the skill sets, you can deliver. You realize that people start to rely on you and give you, jobs at the very beginning. So where should I work to gain skills in cybersecurity, small or enterprise-sized business? I think this came in when somebody asked for internships. Should I ask for a salary in my internship? And I said, it should really matter about the company. What is the company offering? You'll be there for just 3-4 months. 3-4 months, even if it's unpaid, for the rest of your life, and they are immersing you deeply into security, I'd say take it. 3-4 months for the rest of your life. And probably you live there and go and they give you an opportunity where you make more money than somebody who focus on, you know, an internship that will give them a salary and then it's just all about support. So I'd say focus on what the company can actually expose you to. 3-4 months, get as much as you can. Even if you're not getting paid, get as much as you can and then leave and go and find something that, you know, asks for good money. And what is a starting salary for a cybersecurity engineer? I'd say between $800 to $1,000. So where do I get resources to get started? I'd say free resources, YouTube. I'm in Telegram hacking groups myself. That's where I get my content, because I don't like to pay for content unless I actually have to when I can't find it. So Telegram, free, groups that offer content, YouTube, people on Twitter. Twitter is very big for, social, security. There's a lot of people on Twitter who offer a lot of content for cybersecurity. So my recommendation, one, get your hands dirty by exploring all areas. You will not know which area you want to get into at the very beginning. So don't really put a niche at the beginning and say, I want to do web, but you don't even know what's in network or you don't know what's in malware analysis. So get your hands dirty in all things. Start with free resources. Don't be, some of these courses are very expensive. And it might start to demoralize you. Start with free resources, find them wherever they are, borrow people, tag, put them on your Twitter, save them for later on LinkedIn, just do that. Certifications come later. I think I've mentioned that. It's okay to fail, my dear. If you've hacked into a system and it went down and people are not able to access that service, that's okay. And I think everybody in security or system administration or developers, everybody in tech has gone through that break for you to make it. There's no better time to be in tech than right now. That is for sure. Especially in Africa, there's a lot of money coming into Africa to invest in tech companies, and there's a lot of startups growing. And I think in Nigeria, you guys are blowing up everywhere, not just in music, in tech as well. So there's no better time to be in tech overall, and there's no better time to be in security, because tech needs security. It's a supportive foundation of tech. So the three main ingredients, in my recommendation is skills, attitudes, and being flexible. So skills, number one, always 80% of everything is skills. Then attitude, you can teach skills, but you can't teach attitude. And you realize people lose jobs, not because they are not good at it, because they have really bad attitude. So you can't even work with them. So like, yeah, these guys can deliver, but I don't like working with them. They're headache, the right kind of attitude. And being flexible. You're a beginner. This is a cyber startups conference. You're a beginner. Be flexible to, try network, web, malware, ransomware, building. Just try it all in security. You already know you want to be in security. So just try it all. And then you find your niche, something that makes you want to work on a Saturday, be here on a Saturday and talk to people about it. And last but not least, there's a lot of information fatigue around cybersecurity. That's fine. There's a lot of things happening, people being attacked, companies, nation state, implants here and there. That's fine. Information will always be there. So if you start to feel fatigue, information fatigue, just filter it out. Pick and choose what works for you. You are interested in network security. That's why social filters are there. Not just the face filters, they're social filters. So pick and choose what works for you. As I said, mine was gonna be short and sweet. Back to you. That's me on Twitter. You can find me at Judy_infosec, and I will be able to answer all your questions. So thank you so much, Toby. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, everybody.